All right. How's everyone doing today? um, we're gonna continue working on hands. Excuse me. Got that phlegm in my throat. Uh, hey, how's everyone in the chat? Thanks for coming in so early. I know it takes a little bit for people to kind of roll into the stream, and I also forgot to text my wife and let her know that I'm starting the stream. My bad. Hold on. Yeah, I have to let her know when I start the stream. That way, she knows to kind of, you know, leave me the fuck alone. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Mauricio in the YouTube chat, welcome. Um, Oscar, what's going on? It's been a while since you watched a stream. Well, that's because it's been a while since I've had a stream. I was kind of busy with cons, conventions the past couple weeks. So let's just made your first enamel pin collection for the con. Oh yeah, do you have a link to it? Well, I could check it out after the con or after the con. Jesus Christ, after the stream. But yeah, put it up in the Discord so people can. You could even put a link to your shop or anything into the Discord if you want. But let me text my wife real quick. I gotta let her know that the stream started so she knows not to interrupt. Okay. So, like I said, we are gonna continue working on hands. Specifically, what we were working on yesterday, we spent a little bit too much time warming up yesterday, which was a mistake. I came back from the gym, but I already spent about 30 minutes warming up, so your online shop isn't done yet. Only selling at console world. That's all good. It's all good. We're gonna get this TikTok stream started. So now we're live on like every platform. I'll figure out how to add what do you call it? I'm gonna figure out how to add Instagram to our multi-stream uh setup. Okay. This will be a very relaxing Ghibli stream. All right, so first order of business, we're gonna draw a single hand holding like cylinder objects. Is anyone here? Whoops, that's no good. First thing we did today is I messed up. Is anyone here a fan of industrial design? Like, do you follow any artists on social media who work doing industrial design stuff? Because if you don't, even if you're not interested in designing things, like yourself, if you are if you're having issues getting a lot of like volume in your drawings, industrial design is like the Scott. That's what pulled me to the Scott Robertson books. And yeah. Anyway, that's one of the following industrial design is one of the things that I don't think we've talked a lot about lately. We used to talk about it a lot, like 2017. I used to almost exclusively do industrial design studies, and that's how I got really good with perspective and shapes and volume, and that's how I started applying that stuff to like basically everything that we're trying to learn. Normally super into line art, so making super clean lines to convert to vector was tough for you. Yeah, but once you get it into vector, then you can do anything. You can do anything with it. Cynic does industrial a lot, but he doesn't work in that. Yeah, no. That's why Cynic's mechanical work is so good. I think anyone who is halfway decent at shapes and volume, especially rotating shapes in free space and perspective, I think anyone who's halfway decent at it, whether or not they meant to dive into industrial design, they're pulling elements from it. They probably picked up a book that is recommended. I forgot who it was that I messaged on Instagram, but big shout outs to him. He's the one who turned me on to I forgot his fucking name. He doesn't show up in my feed anymore because it's been so long. But yeah, I was following his work, and I just sent him a message on Instagram. I'm like, hey, do you recommend any books? And he's just like, get all the Scott Robertson shit, bro. Like, he's the one who recommended it to me. So for anyone who's interested how I came across that book, it's a professional recommended it to me. Everyone recommends the Scott Robertson books. They're just so universal. Like, they're just so functional for like everything. Malcolm, what's going on, man? Why are we lagging? You see we're dropping frames a little bit right here? Fascinating. Scott Robertson, How to Draw. Yeah. There's how to draw and how to render. I think how to draw is much more universally useful. You see mine's all fucked up because I'm using it all the time. And the how to render, this one's cool, but it's like, this one's more, this is clearly comes after this one. It's like the sequel to this one. It's like, how to draw is how you're gonna do stuff, and then how to render is like, all right, so you're gonna make that stuff you just did in my last book look really pretty. That's how it is. Oh, let me Google that book and see if that's one of the many books on my Amazon list. I will copy paste it right now, and then I'll take a look at it later. Oh, wait, that book. Oh, never mind. Pfft, of course. Never mind. I was just like, I recognize the book. Yeah. Just for the title alone. Dude, drawing cards is a pain in the ass, dude. We'll have a stream where we do that stuff, but right now we gotta focus on drawing hands. So. So it needs to look more like tense up here. Of course, it would have to look tense on the skin right here, because there's a lot. Because like, see how it's like this, it's very loose. But if you're gripping something, it would be much more. Wow. Planes stopping by, say hi, lurking in the background. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey Jim, welcome to the TikTok chat. If you're just hopping in, actually, this is for everybody. All right, it's for everybody. If you're just hopping in the TikTok chat, this is kind of a new. We're new here on TikTok. You know, I only got like 10K people here, but I do a lot of art studies, and that's what basically all these streams are going to be. It's just us practicing in my sketchbook. It's I know the sound's a little janky here on the TikTok stream, but if you want to hear like a cleaner version, an HD version of the stream, we are on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter. Can TikTok people see the? No, they can't. They are on their own little island, away from everyone. So we have the YouTube, the TikTok. Excuse me. You have the YouTube and the Twitch on one chat, which is the one that's showing up on screen, and then Picarto is on their own, and then but Picarto has their own chat, but they could see the chat. TikTok is on its own thing. I'm streaming from a different phone. It's like right here, right out of frame. It's like we're literally like right here. I have not been paying attention to what do you call it? Like social media stuff, because who needs it? So I go on and for a moment I'm just like, I should check out Twitch. I knew that they were gonna like, I didn't know, but the rumblings was that TwitchCon was gonna return to San Diego, and I finally saw that they posted that it is in San Diego, but they moved it to September from October. So you guys know what I like to do for conventions is I like to I like when I have a general idea of when a convention is held, like the month. So what I do is when I get ready to prep for that convention, I will book a hotel room literally every weekend of the month that I know that show is usually during. So, for example, I have like 4 hotel reservations for October, in October for TwitchCon in San Diego, because I was just like, they're gonna go back to San Diego. It's gonna be October, and then I see that they moved it to September, and I was just like, God damn it! I got these 4 reservations I got to get rid of now. I might be psyching myself out with okay, so when y'all draw, do you have this same issue? The slower you go, or at least for me, the slower I go, and like the more I guess I don't want to say meticulous, but honestly, I think it's less confident. The more meticulous or slash less confident I am, particularly when I'm sketching and practicing, the worse it is. When I'm just going like hella fast, I'm just like blah blah blah, I'm gonna fuck. That's when I get my best results. Honestly. My bad. My buddy is helping me out with something. Usually he doesn't text me this early because usually his ass is asleep. But okay, my bad. My bad. My bad. Had to take care of some stuff. Yeah, so anyway, we're talking about like anytime I slow down with my drawings, like if I okay, we're talking about sketches. If I'm working on like a paid piece, that's different. We're not talking about that. We're talking about like if you're sketching when I slow down, my shit starts to get all like unconfident, and then the line work gets, that's why one of the reasons we were talking about it the other day, one of the reasons I like to practice in pure pen is it helps with your confidence and your line control, and that will really speed things up when you have really big, like if you're doing a really big project for yourself or like client work. Because I mean, I don't judge anybody. You draw how you want to draw. I don't like this though. I don't like this. I'm not for line work. I'm not that guy. That shit drives me crazy. Cause you should be doing that. So yeah, how you been, dude? I didn't even know you were still alive. You were talking like you had some crazy shit going on. I mean, I know I could have texted you at any time, but like... Yo, we got some of the classic people here. How's everybody's year going so far? Yes, I've been good. I've been good. Been able to find more time to sketch and draw these days, and I was able to rebook my table for Anime Expo. That made me really happy. I finished, let's see, my year so far. I finished a big Berserk drawing, which I actually am really happy with. I debuted that at a convention, MagFest, a couple weeks ago. Did really well, and that wasn't even an anime show, so I can't imagine when I take that to like Anime Expo, which by the way I was able to rebook my table for AX, so you know, like the year's starting out really strong for me. We're back to streaming. I'm back to, you know, things at home have really settled down, and I've been able to find more time to practice drawing more and in turn stream a lot more. I'm down like 20 pounds now, so I got like another 26 pounds to go down because I have an obstacle course race in May, but it's all the way up in Big Bear. If anyone knows anything about Big Bear, California, the elevation there is murderous. So I need to go in that bitch under 200 pounds to have a chance of being able to complete that course. So Remix, what's up? Year's going well. Writing down and you're planning to plan your days and you're feeling good about it. Do you use a paper planner? I can't. My wife my wife has been using, you know, like Google Calendars or whatever the fuck it's called, right? Like she has always used a digital calendar. And then she would always be like, why do you carry around your paper planner with you? Because I've been using a paper planner since high school, right? Because I was in that medical program in high school and they fucking made us use our planner. Like they graded us on how well we used our planner. So it's stuck in my brain now. I can't use the digital planners. But I got her to switch, not like I got her to try using a paper planner because I bought one for her for 2024. She swears by it now. She's just like, there's something about it. So I don't know who here uses all digital or who here uses all paper for their planners, their daily notebooks, their daily planners. I cannot do digital, man. Like I just can't. I think it's because I get like high off of crossing stuff off of a list with like a highlighter. Like, yeah, I'm productive today. You start at the root of the thumb. Oh, okay. I developed this habit of starting at the edge of the finger when I was trying to practice foreshortening with the fingers. So when I visualize, well, basically when I visualize anything, but particularly with hands, I always visualize them as like cylinders, right? As like just 3D objects, like lumps. So when I was doing like a lot of foreshortening practice, I was doing a lot of like that. And I found it was a lot easier for me to start at the edge of the finger. Start at the meat of the thumb. But, you know, it's one of those things where I think if I started at, like, the actual hand part, I think it's easier to, like, how do you say, like, not proportion, what the fuck am I talking about? To get everything to land correctly to where it needs to be. It's like if you start, when I draw a character with a hat, I have to start with the head and then add the hat. If I start with the hat, I can't draw the head underneath it and it look right. Like when I draw people in cars, I have to draw the person first and then construct the car around them. I can't draw the car and then put the person in it and have it look proportional. So with hands, I think if you start here, it's a lot easier to get it like proportional. You gotta travel to conventions. Yeah, Anime X, honestly, I've said this for years, right? Where I'm just like, the day that I don't get into AX as an artist, like the day I don't get accepted, I want to go as an attendee. But seeing how it's been the last few years, how crazy busy it is, I'm just like, you know what? I would probably fuck this con. Like I wouldn't even want to go. Like it's so busy. Like I would just go to the after parties. Like it's just fucking, like if I were gonna take the 4th of July weekend off, I would just hit up all my friends that live in LA who are going to AX, who and then like, where are all the anime themed after parties? And we'll just do that. Just do that, you know? My oh, you couldn't get into the rebooking? Yo, that rebooking session was my butthole tight, because that's a huge amount of money for me to miss out on. So I'm always just like I don't get nervous when I sign up for cons anymore. Like I don't usually get like cold, but for AX I still get cold. I'm just like, fuck, dude, like this is it's like 3 cons in one weekend, right? So yeah, we talked about this the other day. I had to be at MagFest on Thursday, right? I had to be at MagFest because it started on Thursday. So I wanted to get to MagFest on Wednesday. So I wanted to go set up for MagFest on Wednesday because the show for MagFest, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's the show days, right? But fucking AX had to have their rebooking right in the middle of Wednesday. So all my flights, it was in the middle of the day on Wednesday. All my flights after signups would have landed me there late Thursday, and I would have missed a whole day of sales. So my only option was to arrive on Tuesday and get to Maryland for MagFest a day before day 0. And then I had to sit around for like half the day with my little hotspot puck and just wait. And then I had 2 devices with me. And then when the time came, I went in to the waiting line, like the queue on the AX re-registration with both my devices. And my main device was like all the way in the back of the line, thousands of seats back. But the other phone was at like spot 1000. So that's how I was able to get it. I like sat there for like 4 hours just waiting. I waited because I had to check out of my hotel, but they let me stay in like the lobby. I sat there for like 4 hours just waiting for it. But I got in, so see, because we're okay. I'm going to show you this mistake that I'm making right now. We're practicing, but I'm putting too much detail in everything. We're practicing, so we should be as like, I mean, we could just be doing this right now, right? Shapes. But that's like too much though. It's gonna slow me down. So we need to be doing like anime ass looking hands because we just want to get like the gesture. Basically, we want to get the gesture of it down. It's got hella competitive. Yeah, all cons are competitive now. Okay, we had somebody in the Discord who was feeling a little discouraged. And I'm not going to drop names or anything, but I had somebody in the Discord who was feeling a little discouraged because they didn't get into Fanime. I don't know who here got into Fanime. Artist Alley. But I was just like, you know what? Cons have never been fair. The first come, first serve system, which we lived by for so many years, which they don't do anymore. Or at least most cons don't do it anymore. The first come first serve system was broken. Like that shit was hella unfair. It was just like who happened to, you know, like websites will always crash with first come first serve. And it was always just like, were you lucky enough to not crash, to not be on the website when it crashed, you know? That's not fair. You know, like why don't ever get like discouraged if you can't get into these shows, because it's just like, you know, when they do quote jury system, hell no, it's not full jury. They pick their favorite artists, or when they do jury, they have so many applications. There's no way they can go through all these applications. So my theory is that they just pick the jury systems. They allow people to apply. They get like thousands of applications, and then they'll just pick random ones out. And then they'll be like, all right, is this person legit? No, fuck them. All right, pick another one out. Is this person legit? Maybe. All right, they're in the maybe pile. And they'll get a maybe pile of like a couple hundred people, right? And then they're like, okay, now we're gonna actually sift through this and see who's legit. That's how I think they do it. They'll be like, all right, pick, no, pick. All right, how big is the pile? I don't know, we got like 200 here. All right, cool, just sift through that one. Like, that's what I think they do. Because there's no way that, because they have to do jury system for these cons to weed out like AI, right? Or these fucking bullshit ass quote studios when it's studios, whatever. And there's just like manpower wise, logistic, they can't jury all of them. I don't see how that's feasible, so I can't blame them for having to cut corners. They just can't. So I always tell people, if you've been rejected to X amount of cons, or you know, like for whatever reason, you can't take it personal, because none of it's ever been fair. So I've never gotten to Colossal Con. I've never gotten to Colossal Con. If it was pure jury, I'm not trying to sound like I'm trying to boast. I'm not trying to boast myself. But if it was pure, fair jury, I would get into every con. I would get every con. That's just how it is. All the European artists are waiting for the Dokkomi. Yo, they haven't sent them out yet. I got into Dokkomi, but I had to turn it down because apparently there's like a there's some kind of big football event going on that weekend or that week, and flights out there were like $3,000. I was like, get the Jesus Christ! I was if the flight, I could see if the flight's like $1,000 to $1,200 from the U.S. to Dokkomi, right? I was like prepared for that. I was looking, it's like $3,000, and I guess there's a big football event going on that weekend in the area. So I was just like, nah, son, I'm good. Like, like, nah, you're crazy. So I had to email Dokkomi and be like, yeah, that's crazy. I can't do that. Okay, so when we're talking about, you know how I was talking about before, I can draw, if I want to draw somebody wearing a hat, I have to usually draw the head, and then I'll draw the hat on top. So I think my method for getting better at drawing hands interacting with objects is to start with the object and then draw the hand around it. Because trying to imagine the hand around, like for example, a water bottle or something, right? Wait, what does a water bottle look like? That's what gets me. What does a water bottle look like? Just a cylinder, right? That kind of works, but let's do it the other way around. Let's start with the soda can or whatever. Oh, maybe it is easier for me to start with the hand. Maybe it is easier to start with the hand and then put the object in. Oh. Hotel wasn't a problem. I had a hotel for Dokkomi ready to go as well. Like I have a hotel booked for Dutch Comic Con. Like I have hotels for fucking everything. Like I was talking about earlier, I have hotels for every potential con already. That wasn't the problem. When I saw that flight was $3,000, I was like, shit, you crazy? That flight at $3,000 just to fly. The hotel wasn't actually that bad. rejected to 10 cons. Yeah, you know, that's how it is. I think you know what it is? Event Any. Is that how you pronounce that site that everyone's using now? I like the convenience of it, but I've been rejected to like every con that I've applied through using that site. But I fucking get into a con if I book through their website. You know, like I get into that easy. But for some reason, when I use that Event Any site, I get waitlisted on everything. Is Dokkomi their version of AX? I mean, basically, but like sales wise, it's nowhere near the same. The economy there is different. Spending habits are different. You have to remember homes there in general are smaller, so they don't buy a lot of prints. And if they do, they buy smaller prints. That's why I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of outside US artists, when they do prints, they don't sell like fucking 2 by 3 feet, 24 by 36 prints. They always have like little, 4 by 6. They have little things that they sell. Is what I've noticed anyway. But I would say it's their equivalent of Japan Expo, I guess, would be, but that's so far. Are they doing it in Paris still? Japan Expo. I like Dokkomi though. I like Dokkomi. I like the vibe. I like the venue. I like the attendees. I don't like spending $3,000 to fly out to a con though. Like I wanted to apply for a TwitchCon. Fuck, where are they holding it this year? I forgot where they're holding it. But anyway, I looked it up the other day when I found out about TwitchCon San Diego. And I was just like, all right, cool. Hotels aren't that expensive. How is this to fly? $2,000. Like, god damn it. Like, nah, I'm straight. I'm good. So, for those who do have conventions lined up for the year, what do you have next? Because my next one is Stockton Con in California. It's a smaller show, but I could literally drive home every day from that show. The commute's like less than 2 hours for me, so it's not a big deal. And then the weekend after that, I'm doing Emerald City Comic Con for the first time. TwitchCon San Diego. Yeah, Dokkomi's amazing when your costs are only 500 euro. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. No, like the last time I did Dokkomi was my first time doing an out of US show, and I still did okay. Like I still profited, but I priced myself out because I didn't understand the pricing. I didn't understand how to price my stuff out there. Like I basically just took my dollar prices and just flipped the currency symbol. That's like all I did. But like you can't do that because it's like 20 euros a lot. At least back then. That was 2019, So that's different. Like for example, I'm charging $30 for an 11 by 17. That's an A3 size. I can't just flip that around and try and go 30 euro for that because that's hella expensive. Like nobody's gonna do that, So the general prices that I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the general prices that I've seen for like an A3 is at most like 20 over there. So at most from what I've seen or that I've heard of from artists more recently. but I'd like anyone's input on that if you have any. And at the end of the day, Dokomi is just a fun show. So like if you go as a like a US based artist and you go over there to do Dokomi and like your sales or whatever, if you go with somebody who you can tag team out of the table, that con's just fun. At the very least, it's fun. Yeah. Dokomi you sell A4 prints the most. Yeah, and that's one of those things that I learned later that somebody told me. They're like, yeah, your big prints aren't selling. One, they're too expensive, but also no, like homes here are generally built smaller. Because the US, we waste a lot of space when we build houses. Fucking but the point is it's harder to move big prints there because of the, like, here in the US when you're trying to sell a print, a lot of people already have, they're like, oh, I have space on my walls. Nah, like they for real don't have space on their walls over there. I had to learn that the hard way. That's just something I never even considered. I was just like, oh yeah. So if I ever went back, I'd still bring my big prints, because my 24 by 36 prints, my A1s, they are less than $2 for me to produce, because of how I order in bulk, because I'm crazy like that. So I would actually bring those fucking huge, and I swear to God, I would still just price them at 20. I'll price them at 20, even though you guys don't have space. I'd just undercut everybody in the artist alley and be like, yeah, these are some big prints at 20. That's how I would do it. And then my my other ones, my A3s, I'd do them at 15. Because it's one of those things where I wouldn't be selling my artwork out there often. So I would just want to get as much of my artwork into people's hands and homes as humanly possible. And that was what my strategy was gonna be. Just fucking undercut everyone. But I was like, that flying price is too much. Just FYI, if you ever catch me out at the Dokomi, my price is gonna be stupid. Like what is the if I may pick your brain a little bit as a US based artist, in regards to payment, what is the preferred payment these days? I know cash is always king, but for digital transactions, when I was there, it was PayPal. PayPal is what most people used. So when I went, I think my second Europe based show was what the fuck was it? What was my second out of US show? Dutch Comic Con. I brought a big old QR code that went straight to my PayPal, and a lot of, like, that's how I accepted most of my transactions. So I took what I learned from Dokomi earlier that year, and I just made a big old QR code, and people were paying through PayPal. Just finished your first marker painting. Oh yeah, do you have the link to those marker pens you were talking about yesterday? Excuse me, those marker pens. What the fuck am I talking about? Was it paint markers? Is that what you said yesterday? Who was talking about that shit yesterday? No, I use PayPal. I use PayPal for everything. But at conventions, I always just use a Square. I use Square. I used to use PayPal to do, because I do everything through PayPal, like with my commissions, how I get paid on my social media stuff. Like, my contract work, all that stuff is always done through PayPal. But at conventions, I had to switch over to using Square because PayPal updated the their reader device, and their new reader device fucking sucks. It's so bad. It made me switch over to Square. Like their reader was so bad that despite me using PayPal for everything, I was just like, fuck this, we're going to Square. I can't do this. Welcome everyone, if you're just hopping in. We're just practicing some hands. I mean, I know a lot of people have had bad experiences with PayPal, but I've never had a bad experience with them. Like not one time have I ever had a bad experience with PayPal. You know what it is I've been with PayPal since like 2005. So I don't know, like even when like I have my online store, right? And even when I make an online sale and I don't use the printing system or the label printing system, shipping label system, fucking that my site, the website I use, Store Envy, that they provide, I go through the PayPal has like a shipping website that you can use. Their prices are pretty good on there too. I don't know what their prices are like compared to shipping.com, but anyway, yeah, anyway, just blah 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 blah, streamline, PayPal, whatever. You know, I have Emerald City Comic Con coming up, and I'm very, very iffy on that show. You know, last year, I actually dipped out of a lot of shows. See, I used to be, for those who've been following me a long time, you guys know I used to be like, I'm gonna do every fucking show ever, right? Every convention. And that was cool back in the day, you know, to kind of get the experience. But I have, I guess I've grown. And last year, I actually just skipped. Like, I got into a lot of shows last year, but I mean the second half of last year. First half of last year, I was busy. So I actually skipped quite a few shows at the end of last year. And that was because in my head, I was like, the risk to this wasn't worth it. And every time I did that, I actually made the right call, and I skipped out on a slow show. So there's that part of me that is kind of like able to feel out whether a show is going to be good or bad. And I'm pretty happy with the lineup that I've created so far. But there's something about Emerald City that's tripping me out and that tells me not to go. But I've decided I'm going to ignore it, and I'm going to go. I'm going to ignore that experience and just go. What is it about Emerald City that freaks me out? All right, look, check this out. Emerald City is hit and miss for a lot of artists. I don't know, you can talk to different artists and you'll hear a lot of different experiences. It's not like majority good, majority bad. It's a mix all around for everybody, for all different experience levels of artists who go. So that's already like a red flag, right? So traditionally, Emerald City has always been one of those. Yeah, you know, it's okay, but you know, you go to Network. I'm like, get the fuck out. Just say it's bad. Like, but another thing is that they're using the new venue. Everything in Seattle, including SakuraCon, is using that new venue where they have the artists and the exhibitors, what, like 3 blocks away from the main convention. And to me, that's always just like that's a big red flag for me. You know, that almost made, like, that's why if I get accepted to SakuraCon, I'm not gonna go. Like, because SakuraCon is doing like, they're putting the artists and the vendors in a different building, like blocks away. And to me, that's a huge red flag, and I don't like that. So it has me hesitant, but I've never done Emerald City before, and that's one of those shows that I've always just wanted to do. So just for that reason, I'm gonna ignore my gut. And if I take a big L at that show, even though my flight was like, my flight cost me like $200, like it was super cheap to fly out there. I'm like mentally ready to take my first loss at a con in a long time. Sakura is during KawaiiCon, yeah. But I'm saying, like, if it was prime SakuraCon, you know, before they moved it to the new building, if it was prime SakuraCon, I would drop KawaiiCon like that for that show. Because, you know, SakuraCon it's in Seattle, so it's much closer to me. It's much cheaper for me to do that show, and the earnings there, at least in prime SakuraCon, the potential earnings are higher with my investment lower. So naturally I would, you know, drop KawaiiCon for SakuraCon. But I got accepted to Pro-Ro for Kawaii though. Without being afraid of being stopped TSA with all your inventory. So, well, what is it about your inventory that TSA stops you for? Also, big shout outs to every Artist Alley artist who does anything other than prints. At because I room split with some people at MagFest, this is my first time actually sitting down and conversing with other artists about like the trials and issues of traveling with like pins. You know, like traveling with anything other than art prints is a fucking headache, like crazy. And I had no, like, I had an idea, but when they were telling me stories about what they have to do in order to get their inventory to certain places when they're doing a lot of cons and there's a lot of shipping back and forth, and I was just like, hell fucking nah, would I ever do that? Like, I would just change genres to being a print artist. Like, fucking crazy sometimes what y'all have to do. The, like, yeah, I mass ordered my enamel pins on Alibaba, and you know, I'm having 40 pounds shipped to FedEx, and I have to go walk fucking 3 miles to go pick it up, and then if I don't sell all of it, I'll have to lug all of it another 3 miles back to the FedEx so I can ship it back to the so I can ship it to the hotel for next weekend. I'm just like, get the fuck, nah, that's crazy. Like, if it doesn't fit in my suitcase, it's not coming with me anymore. Really? Really? The capital of capitalism doesn't want you doing capitalist stuff? That's crazy. But I guess they don't want you to take money out of this the country. Is that what it is? Dang. So how do you get around that? What do you do? How do you get around it? I had helped a buddy who lived in Canada, who lives, I don't know if they're still there, but they were Canadian based, and I had to help her do some like shady shit with the cash, because they get really, really picky about how much cash you're carrying with you when you're going over that Canadian border. Dude, Dragon Con is one of those. Okay, Dragon Con. There are some of these really, 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 really big shows that for some reason I just have no interest in doing. Dragon Con. I'm not saying that the sales are like the sales I know are great, but there's just certain shows I don't give a shit about. Dragon Con is one. San Diego Comic Con is another one. WonderCon in Anaheim is another one. There's just like a handful of particular shows that I don't give a fuck about. Like I just like I don't even apply to some of these shows because I just know that like I just don't want to do these shows. I don't care. Let's start with this hand first. Yeah, a lot of these US based cons, the earnings rate on them is ridiculous. Like I was talking about, what was it MagFest? A video game convention. It's a video game convention. It had Artist Alley tables there. I made like a year's worth of rent in like one weekend there. You know what I mean? It's fucking nonsense. That's why, despite how focused I am on other things, I've been doing cons for so long, and if you guys know me, I don't like doing the same thing for a long time. Like I've definitely outgrown cons. I think that's why I'm so chill about them now. I don't care so much, like, but the money in it is too good. It's basically the way I see conventions and fan art now are my day job. You know how there's some artists who, like I have a buddy, he works at a hotel. That's his day job, and that provides him, you know, the ability to pay and live and do his art on the side. Conventions for me are just that. Conventions and fan art, that's my day job, and that allows me to work on particular things on the side, you know. And a big chunk of that is conventions, you know. It's, you know, sometimes I've thought about what it is that makes the US based conventions just so good sales wise. It's the credit cards. That's what it is. It's because every transaction is done on a credit card. People are giving you the bank's money. I'm taking all the money that the banks have lended these people in form of plastic. I'm just taking that from them. That's all it is. That's why US shows are so good. No, they're not really giving you money. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know how many times I've come across people at conventions where they actually have a brand new credit card that they opened with a bank specifically so they could buy stuff at the convention. You know, they'll like there's a lot of these low tier credit cards that don't really require high credit or high, like, you don't need anything to get approved for some of these cards. And you know, sometimes they'll just give you $1,000, $500 on the card for nothing. You just approved, whatever. It happens a lot where I'll come across somebody who's shopping in the artist alley and they'll have, you know, it's a brand new credit card because it's all shiny and it still has a sticker on it. But these are grown-ass people and they can make their own goddamn decisions. I hesitate to buy a cup of coffee when I go to a con. I'm like, damn, that's like $4. I can't do that. That's me. Valid. Hey, I'm not the bank. I'm not the one handing out these cards. I only got one card on me. There's only one card that I keep on me that I use. This is my main cell phone, right? You may not know this about me, but anytime you ever caught me at a con, your boy comes prepared. In case I need it. In case I need some protection. In case the world needs saving. Think about 1 to 2K profit per con now. It's really trying to do. That's good. That I used to be in this place where when I was doing cons like full time, I was in this place where I only accepted a certain amount of profit, and if I didn't get to a certain amount, I would just be angry. Of course, that varied per show. Like, so there was an anime expo where I profited 9K, and I was mad because I was just like, "This is so fucking bullshit," blah 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 blah, right? Fucking stupid, like crazy. So if you can do like if you're doing like 1 or 2 in profit and you're doing multiple shows like a month, you know, like you just have to imagine, like you're making money. That's a good amount of money, you know, especially if you go US side. You could do easy 2 to 3 per show, right? Like even mid-tier shows, if your product is good, easy 2-3 profits on the mid-size to small shows. And you could, US has so many, you could do multiple, you could do like fucking 4 of them a month. You're doing that selling artwork, you know, whether that's pins or prints or whatever it is. If you can make that kind of money doing like art, that's fucking crazy. You should just be happy with that. Like, you should always strive for more, but never get to that point where you're just like, no, this is fucking horrible. No. Yeah, like, I used to be such a little asshole. So 1 to 2 per con is good. Like if you consistently do that and you just start racking up doing more shows, that's hella good. Sometimes I look back on sometimes I look back on how I used to be, like pre-COVID, and I don't know how any of you were friends with me. For those who knew me pre-COVID, I don't know how any of you were friends with me. I was a fucking maniac. I was like insane. Speaks volumes about your judge of character, by the way. It's more about you than it does about me, bro. Nah, I'm just kidding. Oh, you found me post COVID, so you're innocent. That's cool. That's cool. There's only a handful of people in the chat right now who know me for real, for real. Nah, but I'm like super chill now, just cause like I don't know, life. Well, life has a way of doing that to you. Respect the hustle. That's why you're still. Hey, you know what? I talk about being like a fucking psychopath, but if I wasn't like that, then I wouldn't be where I'm at now. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do what I do now if I wasn't crazy like that. So I make jokes about like I was hard to deal with as like a person, but I definitely, if I didn't work in that way, I wouldn't be able to like do what I do now. So I'm chill. I'm blonde and shit now. Like I'm, like it's all good. I appreciate everyone who stuck around during all that. Needed some time to grow up. Needed some time to mature. I took a lot of psychedelics during COVID. I was gonna tell you for real. Like I was just best thing ever. Improve my, my output is actually better now than it was back then. Back when I was like back pre-COVID, when I was very much into that social media, that hustle culture, very very unhealthy. But then again, without it, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I actually don't. Those people who are all like, hustle. I sleep in my car because my drive go crazy. Like one of those people. I don't judge people who are like that. Like I know a lot of people think that's like it's super unhealthy, which I think long term it is. But I think some people need that because otherwise, I feel like a lot of people, if they're not crazy into that hustle culture, I think a lot of them would just be horrible burnouts and miserable with their lives, and whatever works, right? Nice hands. Thank you. But what do you think of the drawings? I'm just kidding. Yeah. I don't you've heard me say this many times on stream. Whatever you gotta do to get by and pay your bills. However it is you gotta do it. As long as you're not stealing from other people. I steal from the bank. 1 con per month. Just make art and vibe. Shit, there you go. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Am I still live on TikTok, by the way? If you're in the TikTok chat, welcome. I'm trying to get the chat loaded up for that right here. I don't understand how to use TikTok. There it is. There it is. Oh, you know what else? Do you know what else really, really like took it out of me? The Oh, I thought. Do I still have all my channel points rewards? Oh yeah, for the channel point thing, I basically made it because I didn't really know what to do with the channel points rewards. So I just made it, if you have a shit ton, you'll get a drawing from me, because that means that you hang out for a long time and I want to reward you for that. Otherwise, it's all good. Oh, you know what I used to what I'm going to be doing with the channel points is I need to start up community channel points challenges again. Those were really fun. Well, if you look, I think there's only 3 tiers now for the channel points. Okay, well, the TikTok is tripping out on me, so let's just say bye to the TikTok people, and then we'll continue the stream here on Twitch and YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, or excuse me, if you're watching on TikTok, I appreciate y'all hanging out. If you're new, we like to just hang out in the sketchbook and practice various things. And if you want to continue hanging out with us on like a higher quality version of what you're watching, head on over to Twitch. It requires a little bit more attention span, so I hope my TikTokers have that. And I'll see you guys on Twitch and or YouTube. All right, TikTok is done. Forever. Okay, so I'm gonna take like a 3-minute break. Need to go refill my water, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and then we got about another like hour and a half of hands. Yeah, no, we'll be on for like another hour and a half. I just need to go get some water. All right, we're gonna get rid of this sleepy ass music, okay? I'm gonna find a replacement for this. Okay. We got another hour, hour and a half of time before I have to head out and actually do work. All right, let's start a new page. What did I do? Okay, I'm gonna draw a series of objects. Give me some random hand-sized objects, and we'll sketch those and see if I can draw hands holding those objects. You guys have any recommendations for things? I find the best way to, I would say the best way to get some practice in would be to not always be in full control over the thing that you're practicing. That's why when you do like timed gesture drawing, it's helpful because they're throwing poses at you that you're not picking. If you're always picking the poses when you're doing your gesture work, you're gonna kind of stay in your comfort zone. So sometimes what we do here on stream every now and then is like, throw me some shit and see if I can work it. A pyramid. All right, I'll draw a pyramid over here. Controller, hey, a controller. Oh, that's good. And then I'll do different kinds of controllers. Video game controllers, TV controllers. A Switch, a Nintendo Switch. We'll dedicate a page to each of these things. Nintendo Switch, that's a good one. Because then we can do the full Switch and then the nunchucks. Are they called nunchucks? Is that what they're still called? Or is that something different? For a fast sketch, Alex, just email me. Just email me with how many points you have. Wait, you said 138. Yeah, that's good. But in order to do the redemption on it, I have to do like a custom thing. You know what I mean? So just email me like what, and then I can do a quick sketch, and then we can collect your 138 since you were so close to the 150. Yo, so I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I got you. And then we'll set up a way for you to drain your channel points. However, I have to do like a custom thing for that. So I don't know sign language. I know gang signs. It's different. Oh, brass knuckle will be cool because then that's not necessarily the hand holding something. Like there will still be space being used around here, but it'll wrap around the hand. That's actually a really good one. All right, that's enough. We got enough subjects. That's a really good. Hey, these are some good, really wide variety of recommendations. See, I would have never thought of doing this stuff. That's why sometimes it's good to just use your chat. Guys, think for me, please. Toxic, what's going on? Yo! Hey, I'm doing well. About to put my hoodie on. About to put my hood on so you know shit's gonna get real right now. I just had a very successful convention last week, and I'm almost caught up with all my commission work. I just have to catch up on the Patreon sketches. I'm super behind on those Patreon sketches. And I actually spent a good amount of time with my family the past couple days. We were just playing Diablo. You know, I don't make a lot of time to play video games, but when I do play games, I always make sure that it's like, I don't make time to play video games by myself. I barely make time to play video games at all. But anytime I do play games, it's co-oping a game with my wife. That's the only time I play video games now. Even Pokemon. Even when the new Pokemon, like when Scarlet Violet came out, my wife played it first, and I just was kind of watching her and working at the same time. And anytime she needed help with like certain typing, I'd be like, look, you can't just power through this. You got to do this, and you got to do that. Prime Gaming? What is that? That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. I should know more about this kind of stuff. All right, so first one is going to be a pyramid. We'll draw the object with the... I know what Prime Gaming is, but I didn't know that provided... Wait, is Prime Gaming... Okay, so that's the same... Is that the same thing as the Prime sub? It's the same thing? Okay, well then I know what it is. For a second, I was like, oh god, something new I have to learn. It's like, that's literally where my thought process was like, oh no, something new I have to learn. Wait, that's not a... Because I think it used to say Prime sub. I didn't know it said Prime. If it said Prime Gaming sub this whole time, I've just not been paying attention. But then again, you know how I am. I don't pay attention to a lot of shit. So if that surprises you, that's more on you than it is on me. Okay. So the recommendation was Pyramid. So we will, well, who would I be if I didn't take this opportunity? Wait, what? People are smoking cigarettes to quit vaping? That's funny. Don't make me pull out again. Call me a Yu-Gi-Oh nerd. Don't make me pull out again. I showed y'all earlier what I carry with me. One would say it's my job to be a nerd. It's like literally my job to be a nerd. Did you know that when I sell my artwork at conventions, there's a lot of people who don't think that I'm actually like a Pokemon fan? Because I guess because I'm like a big guy, right? There are a lot of people who just they're like, "Are you actually a Pokemon fan?" Like I hear that a lot. Do you know that? Did I ever bring that up? That happens all the time. And I'm just like, how fucking dare you? You merely adopted the Pokemon. I was born in it. Molded by it. I mean, I did a drawing. I spent like almost 900 hours on a drawing of Pokemon. And it's just like, if hypothetically I wasn't a fan when I started that drawing in some weird way, then by the time it's done, I don't see how you're not a fan of it. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, yeah, they just assume, and I swear to God, it's because I'm a big guy. They just assume because I'm like a big dude, they're like, this guy's not a Pokemon fan. He's just, you know. Look, when I have to point out to these kids who are sifting through my Pokemon, my every Pokemon drawing, when they are sifting through it trying to find somebody I missed, when I have to explain to them who Missing No is, don't even talk to me. Like, don't even look at me. Like, don't even. What's that block? That's Missing No. What's Missing No? Just get out of here. Get the fuck out of my table. Like, leave. How do I reach these kids? You know, like. My wife was watching a you know, the story, like the movie of Tekken 8. You know how they have those on YouTube, and it was kind of in the background. And I thought it looked really cool. I didn't know what the fuck was going on because I hopped in with like an hour left, but it looked good. Yes. What's up? I'm tired of being in the office. You can't leave the office because you'll wake up your mama. Here's the thing. Do you remember when we first got the puppy and she used to sit on my lap during the live streams when I would draw? Yeah, she still wants to do that, but she's 60 pounds now. Wanna come here? Hand playing with slime. I think that'd be pretty easy. Because basically you could just draw a hand and then you just form the slime around it. Alright, non-toxic. Thanks for coming through. It would be... I'm not going to draw a slime hand. Okay. Cool. It's a big doggy. Okay, okay. Wait, need to go for a walk? What you're whining for? I'm slowly falling back. She's too big. Okay. You want to say bye to everyone on the stream? Okay. How do I reach these kids? Well, it's about to be noon, so I have run out of time. Tomorrow, we will continue, because based on your recommendations, we have a controller that's probably video game controllers, more maybe like a TV controller, but TV controller is really easy. It's just like a little, it's like holding a rectangle. The recommendation of doing video game controllers would actually be really fun. The brass knuckles will be good. The Switch will be good. So we'll do all that stuff tomorrow, okay? But it's about noon my time, so I have run out of time. I have client work that I need to finish, and 100%, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Once I finish all that, I'm gonna play Diablo for a little bit. That's all I gotta say. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, just to be honest. So, yeah, I actually have to go to I have to go to London next week. Not for a con, for family stuff. I gotta go to London next week, so I'm just kind of like, just not in the mood to start grinding on the Digimon piece. Like, I already got it started. I'm actually maybe like 20 hours deep into the Digimon piece right now. I just don't have it in me to like, because when I start a project and I go into like that hardcore mode where I'm drawing like 18 hours a day on a project, like I don't want to do that and then stop and then start again. I like to just be like, all right, look, I got the next 3 weeks lined up open, fucking leave me alone. Like, that's how I want to do it. So the next couple of rest of this week and then the weekend, we'll just keep working on hands until I feel comfortable with it, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow as we continue this. Okay, thank you very much for hanging out. Here's a link to the Discord if you're new. See y'all tomorrow. All right.